Hey, it's weird talking to myself, but this is gonna be my yearly recap for 2021, which I do every year. And normally it's a song or some variation of the sort, but I haven't really been in a songwriting space lately, so I decided might as well just chat and talk about my creative growth from this year. And there's been quite a bit, so it's nice to take a chance to reflect. So last year through this year, I did a full semester online because of the pandemic, which we are still in. And I took that time to sort of do personal projects and catch up on stuff. And there were a lot of things that I left unfinished. But I finally looped back around this year and I managed to finish them, including a graphic design course / certificate that I started in 2020. But I just could not get myself to finish it, and it took me like 6 months, but I finally did it, and I got my graphic design certificate through Coursera. And in doing that, I learned how to use some different programs a little bit, and different methods of designing things, and I came out of it with a certificate as well as a like mock-up brand design of a theater company called Think Tank Theater, which I'd love to one day maybe actually do if I ever start my own theater company. I just think it's a really cool concept. So I finished that. Now I know how to do graphic design. I continued working with my Etsy shop, which I opened in 2020, and I do pet portraits and stuff like that, but the one thing that has been doing really well are my Rainbow Bridge bracelets. And those are based on the Rainbow Bridge poem that talks about when you lose like a furry friend, they're waiting for you on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. And I'm glad I've been able to provide comfort to people in whatever way I can. And I really enjoy making those. It's also a nice thing to do on the side between classes and stuff because college gets really busy. So my Etsy shop is doing pretty well as well. Like I said, coming off of a year of being online, during a pandemic, so it's been kind of weird going back to performing because I did a little bit of monologues over that year online, but I immediately jumped right back in with auditions starting this past fall semester. And there's something about taking a breather from doing things that I feel like really helps me reset, and sometimes it needs to be like 6 months or more for me to really feel that way. And thankfully I did this time. I just feel like I go back reinvigorated and more confident in myself, maybe because I am not as clued into the world, so I don't have as many ways to critique myself on it. But I'll take the confidence however I can. So it's been really nice going back to performing and singing and dancing and acting for actual people. I did audition for a couple shows this semester, unfortunately wasn't cast, but I did get a chance to work as originally prop supervisor, promoted to assistant scene designer, which was really cool. And I got like a mentorship with one of the youngest Broadway scenic designers ever. If not the youngest, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So that was really cool, and I think a valuable experience for me. Hopefully I'll be doing more of that. I really like painting. Next semester I'll be taking a class in rendering for the stage, which is about like sketching scenic design ideas, mostly to see if I like that or if I just want to stick to painting. But I'm looking forward to that as well. In coming back in person for this semester, I moved off campus with a house of roommates that I absolutely adore, and we have so much fun together. And in doing that, I sort of had my try at interior design, which has actually been really fun. I really enjoy playing with like neon lights and lanterns and string lights and all that stuff for like mood lighting, a vibe, if you will. And I guess you could say I added interior design to my list of creative endeavors, although could never be a career. Not that good. So yeah, that's been really nice living with a house of roommates that are just so wonderful. I've also started a job with a wonderful woman named Pam. She's the department assistant for theater and dance and the music department. And by working with her, I've been able to do some poster designs and playbill designs, which has been a challenge. I had to basically teach myself to do both. The playbills, I used vector drawing software, which is very different than regular drawing. And in doing so, it allows you to scale things up to like big poster sizes or just little playbill covers. So I learned how to do that a little bit better. Definitely could still improve. And I also taught myself just a little tiny bit of Adobe InDesign to make the playbills. There's just so much Adobe has that I have to learn, and it's so intimidating. But I'm working on it. I'm starting at least. And the playbills and poster designs are something that I'll be continuing to do with Pam, and hopefully will continue after that. So I think it's really fun. And one day I'd love to be able to like plaster my wall with posters that I've designed and or shows that I've been in, of course. So that's been really fun. And I've attempted to get better at social media, but it's really not clicking for me. It's hard because being in theater, it's not the best field to be in for someone that doesn't like social media. Because that is how a lot of connections get made, and if they're scoping you out for jobs, they can see what kind of person you might be through social media, and I am terrible at it. But I am going to try to make a specific effort to be better at it. My struggle is being genuine and feeling like I am someone / have something that's worth talking about. So I'm going to see if I can work on that. And be a little bit more consistent in sharing what I'm up to. And part of doing that is finally finishing my website. I think that's definitely the beast that I conquered in this past year. I had originally made one through Wix because I had a free year from my college, and I took for granted how easy Wix was to use because after that year was up, it was too expensive for me to continue. So I went over to WordPress, and WordPress takes a lot more. Thank goodness I was able to use a plugin called Elementor that made it a lot easier because I was on the verge of having to code things, and there's only so many skills I could learn in the process of doing things. So I've spent literally the last year working on that website, and I've hit so many walls and had to redo so many things. But ultimately, I think I'm much happier with this website than the old one. And I think it showcases sort of everything I do in a pretty neat package. And if all else fails with social media, that's the one thing that I hope to keep clean and up to date, so that there's something that people can look at and get a clear idea of who I am and what I do. But yeah, it's been a year of growth, definitely, and developing a lot of new skills. Hopefully I'll be working on my original musical. I don't have a concept for it, is the issue. I just have a couple songs that I think might be cool together, and like vague ideas of what aesthetically might look cool on a stage. So I need a lot more help before I reach that point. But in the meantime, I'm focusing on auditions and conferences for work for next summer. And next semester, I, once again, unfortunately, did not get cast in anything at the college. But, and I'm so excited, I'm going to be directing Firebringer as a student production. And that means entirely students. Like, all of the roles are going to be student-led, and we'll be working together as a team outside of the faculty as much as possible. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And hopefully auditions go well and I have something for next summer. But I know you, Alexa, you're going to have something you're doing. We always find something to do. And I just want to say I'm proud of you for working so hard. And I know for the past maybe 6 years or so, we've done like an annual video, and while the format might have changed, it's been really nice seeing us, we, grow together, and do all the creative stuff that we've wanted to for so long. So yeah, I love you. Happy New Year.